Okay. Feel free to ask questions or post something on the chat as we're going through this. As Heather will know, it's a fairly simple process, provided you have a Revenue Canada login, and we'll be going through that on the screen. And Susan, yes, it's Susan, it was you that sorted yourself out with Revenue Canada fairly quickly, right?
Yeah, so I had a CRA account personally already, so that was good. But then I had to contact the Charities Directorate because it didn't appear that our current rector was, or our previous rector was, person that could authorize me. So I had to do a fax to them, but they reacted very quickly because I'd put on it urgent for applying for the CERS. So I'd sent that off Friday evening, and Monday afternoon I got a call from them and everything is now set up. So very quick.
Yeah, as I say, this program, as I say, the first time I applied on a Thursday after speaking with Heather and Ben by email, and I think it was the following Monday I had the first payment in the account. So it's really, really quick.
I did my first application there Monday. I haven't checked. I'm assuming they're going to send me a notification.
Yeah, if you're set up for email.
Which I did. So I haven't received it yet, but we're only Wednesday, so.
Yeah. I would think it'll be there tomorrow.
Perfect.
Really quick. And I've yet to see any parish treasurer that doesn't appreciate additional money in their bank account.
Yeah. I guess I wish we had known about it earlier.
Well, yeah.
Because our financial situation is much better now. And part of it is we got rental income with the provincial election. So that for 2 months there, we didn't qualify because of that money coming in.
Okay. Yeah, this was very poorly rolled out. I mean, I saw it as rent subsidy and thought, okay. I was thinking it was applying to small businesses that had very little income, were paying rent, paying everything else. It was only when I read an article in the Globe and Mail and looked at it, and I thought, you know what, I think we qualify. So I emailed a couple of times with Heather and Ben, and they both said, yeah, looks like you're right. Go for it and see what happens. So I did the first one and that came in. I did the second one. I did a third one as a demonstration to Heather. And then we decided that perhaps we should start sharing this with everybody else. Okay, for those of you that have just joined us, I am recording this and hopefully it will be available on the diocesan website at some time in the near future for other treasurers who can't join us for whatever reason to do it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen. Bear with me a minute here. Okay, so first thing, Revenue Agency My Business Account login. This one, if you're not already there, you can do a CRA register. And as Susan said, if you need help with it, you can fax stuff. Very afraid of being hacked a couple of times. Text put in. So give me a second, I'm going to go get my cell phone. Okay, just when you think you're ready for a meeting, you realize what you forgot.
So the rule of down.
I would say you probably keyed in the wrong number.
Yeah. I think he used one from earlier this morning, 351082. Okay, so this is the My Business account. That's the St. Philip Moncton charitable number. You can also file your HST online here. And I got to tell you, the response is really quick. If you're still doing paper filing, it will take you up to a month to get your check back. I usually get my credit in a bank account within a week. You can also do your annual charitable return filing here, so you don't have to fill in the paperwork anymore. And it's a lot quicker. So this is the Canadian Emergency Rent Subsidy. It's already there for me because I've got it. If not, you would see under this screen, open new account, you would see one for CERS. That's my account there. If you Google CERS calculation, it will bring you to here. Where is it? Where's the claim thing? Calculate your subsidy amount.
Good.
I've already done 8, 9, and 10. So it gives you the dates. Let's see. So
Can I interject one comment about periods?
Yep.
They are different for this program than they were for the emergency wage subsidy. I was trying to calculate when period 8 started from the wage subsidy program, and it's not the same.
The period numbers are different. The date range is the same.
Yeah.
So you just got to watch that. That's all, because they didn't start this program until I think a few months in. So unless any of you have an affiliated entity applying, you answer that no. Most of us, I think, would be using this calculation. It's what we've always used for the wage subsidy.
Mike, I'm sorry. What's the oldest period that we can apply for now?
Period 8,
okay.
And that closes
okay.
tomorrow.
Get your button gear.
Sorry, Susan, I couldn't pick that up.
No. I said I need to get my button gear to get it done today.
Okay. Okay, so then you have to put in this stuff. Yeah. Okay, so as well as filling in the diocesan financial summary, I do the actual CRA revenue summary as well, and I email that to Ben. I've always got it on file. So you see the stuff here. So I now just have to go across and hopefully transpose this correctly. Oops.
And the information you're using, Mike, is what you have entered on your financial surveys to the Senate office.
Yeah, except that what we have to put on the financial survey, there's like 4 or 5 different entries. I do this as the same total. It's just easier to pick up the monies for me here because it's the same numbers. And as I say, I email this into, I guess it goes to Ben, to you, and to whoever else is on that diary. And Ben says he appreciates this because sometimes he picks up stuff that he's missed.
So what I used is I used the parish, the survey, the financial survey, and I just used the totals that were there.
Yeah, and this would be the same thing. I mean,
Okay.
This is just an easier spreadsheet to bring up. 1103.
Mike, I have another question. I'm kind of going into my business side, doing it at the same time. When it asks how many properties, is it both the rectory and the church that are eligible?
As far as I know, it's just the church.
The one property. Okay, thank you.
I haven't checked that with them. I was so busy trying to file and get money that I guess.
I actually put both.
Okay.
I put the 2 locations. I did get some for the rectory because we pay property insurance.
Okay.
I don't know if that's correct or not.
We'll find out.
I don't see why it wouldn't qualify.
No, fine. We own the property,
Mhm,
paying insurance on it.
mhm,
We don't generate any revenue at the rectory for sure.
mhm.
Okay, so this is, so it says that my previous revenue drop is 48. That number, I believe, goes down from time to time, just like the CERS does. And then this, you just put in your none of us have been actually closed, so we don't qualify for lockdown support unless the provincial government suddenly changes their mind. So you just put in an own. Now, for most of us, it's going to be per month because we get charged by the diocese each month for the insurance. Sorry. Property insurance. There we go. And that's the number that will appear on your diocesan debit. If you're a parish that's got outstanding loans, and I believe I'm right in saying it doesn't matter whether it's with a bank, with the diocese, or with another parish, because to get that loan, a mortgage would have been registered on that property. And
what do you do if you pay the insurance once a year? Do you just divide that by the 12 months or?
no, you've got a yearly quote there.
We are yearly, and all you do is you put, rather than per month, you put in yearly. It automatically calculates it for you. So you just take the number that you got on your bill.
Now,
Okay.
calculate. I'm going to get $119.35 back. Not a lot, but you know, if we can claim for 10 months, that's another $1,000. The process today was pretty slow because I've got a lot of stuff open. And then some of the audio, I think, is getting garbled. So you can do a preview and save it as a PDF. I'm just going to print this so that I've got it on file.
I think it's important to note you have to print that because when you get into the application, you need the numbers they provide there.
Yeah.
One thing I did is I went in on this calculator and did all the periods because it keeps the numbers for you. So you don't have to keep putting in the address and all of that. So it made it a little faster.
So you did everything in one session.
Yes.
Yeah. I was avoiding that because if I'd done everything in one session, I wouldn't have been able to demonstrate anything to you guys today. Following today, I'm probably going to go in and make the rest of the applications. But as I say, the thing that takes the longest is actually getting your my business account registration. Once you've got that and you go in, this application is pretty easy. I'm going to be speaking to my MP, explaining and expressing my frustration that this wasn't advertised as well as it should have been. certainly none of us as treasurers in the diocese had any idea we were liable, and could get this. And it was only, as I said, because I read an article in the Globe and Mail and thought, okay, this looks interesting. And there we are. So today is Wednesday. I would expect I will have that in our bank account on Monday, which for Revenue Canada is moving at warp speed. So I hope that was useful to everybody. I'm going to stop screen sharing now, once I figure out how to do that.
Mike, are you not going to go into the My Business account and put in the information that you've gathered from here to show the whole process?
Could you repeat? Who was that? Is
I'm
that
just-
to Mike?
Yeah, as I was just asking if Mike's going to go into his My Business
This is the My Business
process
account.
of now what you have to.
So
What I'm wondering, Mike, is how much of this data, such as your business number and your revenue and so on, how much of it is confidential and you don't want it on the diocesan website?
basically all our revenue information is available through CRA anyway. We file a charitable return. It doesn't
They're
break
open to
down
they're
month-
open to the public.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I can go on because this is what you file as a register. Okay. We got another 10 minutes, folks. So this is where that paper you all file every year, you can do this all online. And I've asked them if they could please pre-populate some of the information. The officers and directors or vestry members and wardens, you have to keep on keying in each year, which is a pain in the neck. It's still better than writing it out and mailing it in. But no, Robert, I'm not concerned about that. It's going up on the diocesan website, and our income isn't that confidential. As I say, anybody can go onto the CRA website and select a charity and look at their revenue. You don't get to look at the directors, but you see their revenue and expenses. So it's easy enough to divide that out to 12, did a monthly average.
Yeah.
Mike.
Okay, I was just making sure you were comfortable with that.
Yep.
Mike, I noticed that the period 8 is April 11th to May 8th, which doesn't line up with the data that I submitted to BAN. Did you just use your monthly data? Or did you have it fine-tuned enough to do that?
No,
So,
you
go ahead, Mike.
you select the period, which is
Yeah.
going to be a 4-week period. But when they're looking for income, it's a month-to-month thing.
Oh, okay, perfect.
And then you put in your expense, whether it's monthly or annually.
Right.
And then
Okay, perfect.
when you hit calculate, just prorates it all.
Okay, thank you.
And the wage subsidy has been the same way. What we've asked for financial information doesn't necessarily line up 100%, but we've been consistent in the approach.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got to say, Heather, you and Ben have done a fantastic job with that wage subsidy. And we really, really appreciate that. I know it must take a lot of time.
It has, but the benefits to the parishes far outweigh, the efforts, I guess. And I know they're still posting information on, there's still subsidies there, but trying to understand the impact and how deep a revenue loss would you still have to be in to qualify for some of the existing programs. So we're still looking at that as well.
Yeah, it's the government websites at times are good and at sometimes very confusing, which I think is typical for any government anywhere in the world.
Mike, on here, do you want to go through the rent subsidy, filling it out here on this on the My Business account from the information you gathered in the calculation?
Okay.
Because that's the next step.
I thought I did that already.
Mm. It's interesting though, Mike, when I'm doing this for the revenue drop, the percentage.
Yeah, but I put in the revenue drop. I put in my expenses, which for me is just the insurance.
Yeah.
If you're a parish that's got outstanding property loans, and I can think of a couple that would definitely have that from my time on finance, they would put in their interest cost. And again, that would, even if you pay the insurance monthly, you put the interest. If you pay the insurance annually, you'd still be putting the interest monthly because it is going to change.
What percentage does your income have to drop?
I think it's got to be well, as I say, my income drop on that one was 48%, and they do it on whichever of the 2 months is most beneficial for you. I think it's got to be at least 10.
Okay, and you compare it to 2019?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Just like we do with the wage subsidy.
Yeah. Okay. I think I can probably bumble my way through it.
This one I think is a little more generous in that the wage subsidy is dropping down now. That'll run out anyway. But I know my income drop hasn't changed that much, but my rent subsidy keeps on decreasing. So if anybody has any questions having gone through this, you all have my email. I'm more than willing to set up another session, just do it as a one-on-one.
Want to go through and file here?
I thought I had already.
I think you had hit the submit button.
I thought I had. Let me go back here, my business account. There we go. Okay, sometimes it takes 24 hours for that submission to appear on that. I'm pretty sure I hit submit. There is a submit button.
So was that on the calculate part?
No,
'Cause-
the calculate simply does the calculation for you.
Okay,
But then when you go on to the Canada Emergency Rent Subsidy there, you've already done the calculation. You've presumably printed off the calculation. So you then just have to fill in all the forms.
yeah, that's what I don't think you did, unless I missed something.
Okay?
So
So
my
this on the file.
experience, when you're able to print or see the PDF, it's after
hit
it's been
next.
submitted.
Yep. Anyway, the meeting's going to close in a minute and a half. I certainly don't have time to do another one. I did the calculation on a separate web page, and then you can do the calculation here. When that's done, you then fill in this part. And if you realize you've made a mistake, you can always do an adjustment to a prior claim, but then you do an initial one. Okay, this session is going to automatically close. I just have the 40-minute free one. But as I say, if
Thank you,
anybody has anything they want to know, send me an email and we'll try and do a one-on-one. I'm out a lot of the rest of the day, but tomorrow I should be in all day long getting my third Moderna shot in the morning. I was not planning on doing anything heavy for the rest of the day.
Thank you, Mike, for doing this.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
greatly
appreciate it.
appreciated.
Well, it's part of my job as treasurer. It's also part of my job as stewardship